Yo chat, hope you guys are having a good day or night for whenever you decide to watch this, but today, once again, I'm keeping my promise to myself to try and be as consistent as possible when it comes to grinding out more content and video for you guys. If you haven't watched the last two videos, which are Demon Slayer related, I would recommend to watch them. This is probably the last time I'll give insight on it, but I am on the Demon Slayer grind from here on out. I was supposed to do this when I first started doing videos, but I ended up straying away from it, and although I'll still do other series and anime, my main focus will be to do Demon Slayer content since it is one of my favorite animes, undeniably. But enough yapping, so I can get into why you really clicked on this video. And that's to see who wins between Zenitsu and Gyutaro. Of course, the title should say something like that, or you could have guessed from the simplistic thumbnail I put on it. But that will be today's topic and the discussion for this video. This will be Gyutaro without Daki, and the version of Zenitsu I'll be talking about as well today is his Infinity Gas version. Or I should specifically say when he fights Kaigaku, since that's where his strength is really highlighted the most after the Hashira training arc. So first, I think it's pretty fitting that I talk about Kaigaku's stature and rank, since it's kind of an argument back and forth if he's even actually really validated as an upper moon. And my opinion on it is that he is definitely an upper moon rank, and an upper moon rank combatant. I don't think that's exactly crazy to say either, and let me explain a little further. Now, upon Kaigaku becoming a demon through Kokoshibo, first there are some things to note. Kokoshibo would have had to see something in Kaigaku to make him a demon like himself. Let that be potential or just the fact he could use breathing techniques, but I feel as if Kokoshibo wouldn't just choose Kaigaku for no reason. You might not think anything about it, but then just think about how fast he got stronger and rose to the upper ranks. Now think about it from this perspective. What if instead of going under the assumption that Muzan was just handing out spots, we go under the assumption that Kaigaku really had crazy potential which led him to the upper rank level of strength so quickly? Even in the data books it states that Kokoshibo had a high estimation for Kaigaku, which points to what I was saying even more about Kokoshibo seeing something in Kaigaku and being correct with how fast he reached the upper moons. That's just my take on it and why I personally have Kaigaku at the bare minimum at the upper moon rank level. I had to talk about this because most people in a way use this to invalidate Zenitsu's win, saying Kaigaku isn't a real upper moon, when he objectively is. Now another question would be, how does his strength compare to Gyutaro? Since they are both upper moon 6, they should be somewhat relative with one another, or being slightly stronger. Now although I did just gas Kaigaku up, I do think Gyutaro is stronger than him. This isn't due to stats, but just the experience he has on Kaigaku, which happened to also be his downfall in his fight against Zenitsu. I do think that in terms of the speed realm, Gyutaro and Kaigaku aren't far from each other. In regards, if you have Gyutaro or Kaigaku there, they are both near each other at their peaks, and if you want to nitpick and put one over the other, it wouldn't be by a gap or a big margin. Now that I've went over that as well, we can go over why all of that was relevant, which brings us to Zenitsu. Zenitsu, before his 7th form, was able to blitz Kaigaku or possibly off guard him, but it wouldn't matter since when Kaigaku uses his forms, he starts to overwhelm and destroy Zenitsu to the point where he's practically at his mercy. But as everyone should know, when Zenitsu uses his 7th form, he outclasses Kaigaku's perception and reaction speed by an entire tier in my opinion. Zenitsu with his 7th form is able to perception blitz Kaigaku so bad he could not see what form it was. He also couldn't even tell if it was a form at first in general, which would put Zenitsu on an entirely different speed tier than Kaigaku, and I do think that tier would also be faster than Gyutaro as well. So in terms of base Zenitsu versus Gyutaro, I think it would be in Gyutaro's favor, and that he would take it, but if it's 7 forms Zenitsu, he would most likely take it quite easily and fast. Now a question people might ask is, in upper ranks, where do I have Zenitsu's speed? And if I'm being honest, currently I don't have him at a definitive spot, since just like Shinobu, my takes with Zenitsu always are pretty ever changing. So for a chain scale, it would be 7 forms Zenitsu over Gyutaro over Kaigaku over base Zenitsu. that would be how I would rank them in order from everything I've gone over. This would also lead us towards the end of the video, and just like I say in all my other videos, if you like Demon Slayer content or topics, you should definitely subscribe and like to see more videos like this. Of course, whether you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As long as it's not glazing Tengen, I will not tolerate any more Tengen glazing. He's a cool character, don't get me wrong, but get off his meat. He's not that strong when it really comes down to it. But let me not cloud your mind with my obscurities about some people's takes in the community. But that's all I have to say for this video, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.